Now, talking about international events, what are your thoughts about the Russian situation? The equation between Hermes Gasparini, Levan Saginashvili, Zaur Pezulaev. Like, Levan is clearly number one, but who stands where? Like, if you were to decide, like, who deserves a match against Levan more, is it Hermes? Is it Zaur? What would you say?
If I'm deciding who deserves a match more, I'm picking Hermes over Zaur, and the reason is we have only seen Zaur beat Vitaly pretty much. Yeah. I mean Salayev, but we don't really know how good Salayev is either, to be honest. Like, so Salayev only has had one good win in recent years. Like, before that, if we go back to Zloty, he beat Krasimir, but like we haven't seen anything crazy from him at that level. He lost to Tim Bresnan, so I don't know how much he's progressed. It's possible that he's top 5 as well. Who knows? But I'd like to see Zaur pull Hermes or Jerry or Dave Chafee or Kredecha, or any of the Gennady, any of the guys that are in that top 10, just to see how he matches up against a different style. Because if you have the style move to beat someone, you're going to beat them every time, and you might lose to the dudes that they beat. And arm wrestling is weird like that. Yeah. So Hermes has proved to at least beat more names, right? He beat Arif and he beat Dave Chafee most recently. So he's been a bit more consistent with his matches. I'd like to see Hermes get that match first. Maybe Zaur is better than Hermes. We won't know until Zaur gets out of Russia, though.
Yeah. So you think it can be a close match between Hermes and Zaur if it happens?
I think I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just flip a coin and that's the winner. Because Hermes could dominate, Zaur could dominate. It could be close, but without seeing even a common opponent, it's hard to tell. I think they had a common opponent if you go like way back, but nothing in recent times because Hermes hasn't pulled Vitaly in a real match. So,
and if you were to guess, who are the top 5 guys right now? So 4 other than Levan, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Right now, if I were to guess, Hermes is in there. Are we basing off of super matches or tournaments?
Basing off your observation, like before.
Okay.
I really do not like this idea when people just totally write tournaments off. Tournaments have been the only way in arm wrestling and all other sports to determine the rankings for centuries now. Like, tournaments have been the only way to decide rankings, and somehow in last 4 or 5 years we have completely neglected tournaments. Like, tournaments do not have anything to do with rankings.
Not completely neglected. Zaur got ranked off of tournaments, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but most people are still saying that he needs to win a super match to prove that he is top 3.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say because I think, like Jerry, for example, he's a great example. Jerry has never beat Dave Chafee, and I don't think that Jerry will ever have the capability of beating Dave Chafee. But we saw Jerry beat Gennady.
I disagree with the first statement. Yeah, please continue. Then I'll
what was the first statement?
So
Jerry's a great example?
Yeah, you were saying that Jerry cannot beat Dave Chafee. I disagree with that. And I'll tell you why.
If you go on history, Dave always beats Jerry. I think that Dave would still beat Jerry.
But the history that you're talking about, in that history, Dave Chafee was a hook arm wrestler. Now Dave Chafee is a top roller. And we all know how Jerry does against top rollers.
I'll smoke Jerry in a top roll. Don't even start. And Dave is way stronger than I am. So I think Dave has to be somewhere in the top 5. I think Hermes is somewhere in the top 5. I think Vitaly is somewhere in the top 5.
Zaur?
I only have one more spot. So it's between Zaur is possibly as high as number 2. Gennady, beat Dave Chafee, so you have to throw him in there. I don't think Kredecha is quite there. And then who knows? Maybe Denis Saplinkov is in that mix.
Yeah.
We don't really know. We saw what Zaur was doing with Denis. It could be a style thing. It could just be a practice thing to make Zaur look. I don't know the circumstances, but then we saw what Denis did with Kredecha. And Kredecha's beat Hermes, so I think it's a little bit interesting. I think
but I think Kredecha won't beat Hermes now. I don't think
so either, but this is history, so we have to talk about it a little bit. I think that there's probably a list of 8 guys that you could put in the top 4, and I wouldn't argue too much about it. Maybe even Devin is still there.
Yeah.
I think now that he's lighter, probably not, but we don't know what kind of match he would give to some of those guys.
Yeah, Devon also, I think if he gains 5-10 kilos, he can be in that top 5 mix as well.
Yeah.
So